here. Audience. All right, we are now live. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. It's Billy and B-Town Coffee Chat. We are here live from Billings Studio Theatre with some of the cast of The Wedding Singer. The rest of them are probably sleeping because we had a very late night. I'm just kidding. They might have real jobs. And I forgot to use my microphone. So we're going to get started. We're going to go around and have you introduce yourself. Tell us what character you play and what you do normally during the day when you're not here performing. Brianna, you first.
Hi, I'm Brianna West. I play Julia Sullivan, and in day-to-day life, I work with Ashley Williams Photography and at the Ronald McDonald House.
Ooh, you're busy.
But I'm here.
But you are here. Yes, you are.
Hello, my name is Ashley Millsap. I am in the ensemble, and in daily life, I work at the Vineyard Church over in Lockwood. And my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world is to go hiking.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
I need ice cream. Good.
Who doesn't like ice cream?
My name is Norma Sitton, and I play the inappropriate grandmother, Rosie. And in real life, it's the best job in the world. I'm retired.
Yes. I'm jealous.
All right, I'm Hayden Visser. I'm just in the ensemble.
You know, you're
Not
just
just,
in the.
not just.
Oh, sorry,
my
bad.
God.
I'm in the ensemble, and I have nothing to do in life because I graduated.
Yes. Congratulations.
You guys both live in the dream. There's zero light on this mic.
Oh, turn it on.
I
Click the
got it. I
button.
did.
Okay,
I did.
perfect.
I did.
Way to follow the instructions.
Yeah.
And if you're
Yeah.
watching Instagram and you can't hear us, let me
Yeah,
know.
nobody heard you. You should go.
No.
I'm Jamie. I play Robbie in the show and in the real life, I guess, as Billy called it. I run the theater department at Rocky Mountain College, so
Ooh,
just down the hill.
yeah, just down the hill. And I'm Billy Parrott, and I play Linda. And I'm also one of the featured dancers because I forced myself in there. Oh, and I'm the choreographer. I guess I kind of forgot about that. I choreographed this bad boy.
How could you forget?
My second show ever choreographing. Yeah.
What was your first, Billy?
Beauty and the Beast.
There you go.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. So thank you again to Casey Visser, who is the director, and Kayla for giving me the chance to do that. So I want to shout that out. All right, so Jamie, since you have the mic, can you share a memorable moment from rehearsals or performances that stands out to you?
Oh, I've got a list. No, I just I love being at rehearsals. It's one of those things I wish audiences could see, just because it's fun to see everyone from when they begin to where we get to at the show. So I can't say I have a favorite moment, but just watching that process of everyone when everyone kind of gets light bulbs at different times.
Yep.
And it continues through the show too, just because it continues to morph and grow. So not really a moment, but just the processes. While it is long, it is still very fun to watch everyone. I get kind of caught up in that.
It is kind of fun to watch everybody like grow into their character.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Cool. How about you, Hayden?
Oh man. I think it's just I love during shows when everyone's sprinting around, trying to change clothes, and we're all just like running past each other. I always think that's really funny, and I don't know. I see like 5 guys just like run past me. It's pretty funny.
Partially clad. That was a moment.
We're ripping off.
Right on the best rehearsal last night. I was like, oh.
Well, then you would really enjoy me trying to yank off my Madonna wig backstage to come on at the last minute. Yeah, I've lost a lot of hair because of that. How about you, Norma?
Well, for me, as being one who actually went through the 80s, it's
Yeah.
been fun to see all these young people go, well, what's that all about? But I guess the other thing is that it's just so much fun to be around all this energy. As a retired person and an older person, you kind of forget what that energy is all about. And one of the lines in the show is, "It's never too late." And so anybody who's thinking about wanting to try theater, there are so many opportunities, not just BST, but NOVA and Yellowstone Rep. There's just so many opportunities for anybody to come and try out theater. And it's not just working on the stage, but it's backstage, it's costumes, it's box office. And I just really encourage anyone to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
You bring that energy too.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
normal.
Just, yeah, I don't know why these are cutting off technology.
What
Go
button?
right here on the bottom.
All of them.
Yeah, all of the buttons.
Oh, that button that my thumb was covering that I didn't see.
Just push it. It should turn on, hopefully.
Hey.
Working.
Okay.
All right.
Favorite moment from rehearsals or performance? Yes, that's what we're still
Yep.
on. Okay. I have a. Can I say two?
You can say whatever
Say
you want.
multiple? Okay. We can edit this out, right?
We're here all day.
Okay.
No, this is live, baby.
Okay, so
There's no editing.
my favorite part about theater in general is that I literally, like, whatever is going on in my daily life, whatever stresses I have, whatever, bad things have gone on, I arrive at the theater and I'm still carrying all that. And then somehow through theater magic, by the end of the show or by the end of the rehearsal even, I get done and I walk out to my car and I think, what was I thinking about when I got here?
Yeah.
And it's just such a great time of just kind of immersing myself into something that is joyful and fun. And then, so that's kind of like, Jamie said, like the arc. But my favorite moment from rehearsals is this is the second musical I've been in.
Really?
And the only other, hence the stress.
Wow.
And the only other musical was Newsies, and the only choreo I learned was the finale. And so this is uncharted territory for me and super unfamiliar. And I worked really hard at learning the choreography. And there was a moment in rehearsal where I did the next move without having to think about it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it was just magic.
It's like autopilot.
It was so great.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's hope. I can learn this.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you,
And
Billy.
you know what's funny? You were in Newsies with my son Miles.
Yes, I love Miles. Hi, Miles. I don't know if you remember me. I was one of the nuns. You probably don't. It's weird.
Oh wow. All the words just left my head.
Sorry. The pressure.
I guess one of the things that I love about like the process of theater is just getting to know people, and it's such a different environment than in your day-to-day life. Like you can go to work and have coworkers that you hang out with and you become friends with them, but this is like you get friends on a much like deeper and closer and quicker level because we spend like 3 months together every night practically. And so you get to know people really well. And so a few of my favorite things from the process of this one has been just Hayden.
Cracks me up.
He's like a ball of energy and such a goofball that you never know what he's gonna say or like do next. And it just makes every night so interesting. So thank you, Hayden.
And he puts a lot of like, I don't know, I just love what you do with your characters. Like you have like you said, you have smaller characters, but you make them huge, which is big. Like, you know what I mean? Especially the beginning with your little dance number. I love it. I try not to laugh. Speaking of Hayden, so you're in one of the numbers with all the guys. And the other night, because I choreographed it, and the other night I was watching it, I was like, it was a proud moment for me because you guys were just putting everything into it and getting into it. And I was like, oh my God, it's like magic. So that for me as a choreographer was just key. I just like, oh, this made me feel good. So thank you. Okay, so the next question.
No response.
You're done.
Move on.
All right. So what do you think makes The Wedding Singer resonate with audiences today? You want to go first?
Oh, you got the mic.
Why'd you do that?
We're all talking about you anyways.
Yeah, it's the Hayden show.
It is.
Well, let's see. Probably, it stems back to the movie, obviously, with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
I mean, come on now. Everyone likes Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah.
So like, anything related to Adam Sandler has to be good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think,
Really? You're not an Adam
oh,
Sandler fan?
oh, has
Uh-oh.
this just turned into
Uh-oh.
hate?
Oh,
No,
no.
Adam Sandler?
Only when he's with
Oh.
Drew Barrymore.
That's the only
it.
time you don't like him?
No, it's the only time I do like
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
'cause that's
No, when he's with her, when they're coupled, he's always great.
Yes. And then
Three
back to
minutes.
Well, that's it.
That's the only-
Let me that.
If you're watching it,
No,
you're blended.
Oh, well, we know it's
HD.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm just hated on Adam Sandler to give me the mic.
It's everyone else.
Adam, if you're watching now, I apologize.
we do love you.
We love you, Adam.
Come to our show.
They're making Happy Gilmore too. Have you guys seen that?
What?
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
even seen Happy Gilmore.
What?
Pretty great.
That's a classic.
Don't like that one? That's right.
Never
You don't
seen
have
it.
to, we don't, that's the beauty of art, right?
Drew
you can
Barrymore,
learn.
she's not-
She's not.
Here's the one girl. The other one.
What about back in the SNL days? And that's where he started, right?
Well, yes, but not where SNL started. No.
Okay,
That was
moving
a
on.
big Welcome back, everyone.
Rewind.
What are we talking about,
I
Billy?
forgot.
I have a mic and I have no idea what to say.
Oh,
Oh, it
Yes.
resonates.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's. I mean, like a lot of plays, it always, they always touch on certain themes that are just kind of timeless, and that's. I mean,
Yeah.
Wedding Singer is a big goofy musical, but it still has that heart in it that we find those connections with people. It doesn't matter really who it is, if it's friendship, if it's romantic love, all that kind of stuff. There's always a connection with people, and that's what this one hits. I mean, it seems cliche, but
yeah.
we need to be reminded of it, and it's in a big fun way. So I mean, I think that's why it's. And like Hayden said, if you're feeling the story already, you already have a connection. So then it just kind of deepens that a little bit. So that's where I feel like it's hitting.
Yeah.
With everybody.
I like that.
That's my thought.
I love it.
I'm getting rid of this.
Norma, how about
Yeah,
you?
Norma, why don't you tell us more about? Oh, we can talk about the 80s. I don't know if no, we wish.
I think it resonates because retro is always in fashion.
Yeah.
And
80s are hot.
the
Those are good
music,
retro.
you absolutely cannot beat the music from the 80s.
No.
And the dancing, all of the Michael Jackson dancing and all of that. Billy has incorporated so much of that into the show, and the ensemble and the dancing and the singing is just incredible. And it does just, if you aren't familiar with the 80s music, it will make you want to go out and start buying that music because it's fabulous.
Find those cassettes.
The cassette tape.
If you can find the 8-tracks, even better.
My fun fact: my first car had an 8-track.
See?
Really?
Yeah, my first car is older than I am. Rest in peace.
What kind of car?
It was a 1975 puke avocado green Mercury Bobcat station wagon with the fake wood paneling on the side.
Wow.
And I got a vanity plate that said squash because it looked like a zucchini.
I like it.
And it had an 8-track player, and I found an 8-track to tape adapter, and then I had a Discman, and I found a tape to Discman adapter, and I would drive, but the volume controls were tricky, and so I would drive around blasting punk rock
Oh, I love it.
in my squashmobile.
Love it.
Welcome back. So I think not to beat a dead horse, but I think those timeless themes. I just love that you're rooting for Robbie and Julia the whole show.
Mhm.
You just want the best for them, and you love them so much. And then at the end, the guy gets the girl, and the girl gets the guy, and it's just a lovely, sweet story.
You just told the ending.
Oh no! I mean, but which guy gets which girl, and which girl gets which guy? That wasn't clear. And I think it's actually a really loving and fun adaptation of the movie. There are some adaptations that are like, why did you even bother? This is exactly the same as the original. And then there are some that have a kernel of the original and then just nothing else the same. But this one I think is a pretty loving, sweet adaptation of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I watched the movie the other day again, and I was like, oh my god. So much like good parallels that
Mhm.
the musical has taken. So
Yeah. Ditto.
ditto to all of it.
No, I think yeah, especially with this production, it's just very fun and like bright and bold, and 80s fashion trends are coming back. I know like we were supposed to look for like our own hair stuff, and
Mhm.
everyone came in with like their own scrunchies, and that was really cool.
Yes, and crimpers.
Oh yeah, all the crimped hair.
So
and
much hair.
yeah.
Fake hair was the thing.
And just throughout the show, there's like moments for everyone. Like there's touching moments, sweet moments, and then the humor and like the raunchy grandma. And I know, yeah, our audience last night, they just loved it.
Yeah,
So that was really cool to hear.
we had a great audience last night, and shout out to Ashley Williams. If you could just be at every show, that'd be great. With your laugh, I love it. What was the question?
Why it resonates.
Oh yes. For me, it's like and I can't remember who said it the other day. Like it's just finding your true self and being who you are is kind of the message of the show.
I think that was Evan. Yeah.
Yeah, Evan said that. Yeah, and so yeah, that's really what I resonate with. But okay, so your character. How do you relate to your character? Or do you have any similarities, Julia, aka Gulia? No, I'm just kidding. I always want to call you Julia Gulia, even though you're not Julia Gulia.
Well, when I tell people, they're like, "Oh, Julia Goulia."
Yeah, they know Julia
Yeah.
Gulia. Yeah.
I feel like I'm very similar to Julia. Just in terms of like what being awkward. That's me.
You're like, I am Julia Gulia.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because all of the costumes too, Olivia's like, I would wear that.
Yeah.
I would wear that. I'm Julia.
Right.
So like Olivia and I are very much
Yeah.
pro Julia.
Olivia is our tiny dancer. I call her the tiny dancer.
Yeah. She's very
Shout out
sweet.
Olivia. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. And yeah, just her whole like arc is something that, like I could imagine myself going through, because I'm more timid and like reserved, but if there's something that's more important to me, then it's like, oh, okay, I can't be that way anymore. I have to
Yeah.
speak out about it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Julia's a really cool character.
She is. I love Julia. Not Gulia.
No,
Julia.
just Julia. That's her New York show.
Yeah. Just Julia. That should be a show.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I feel art happening.
I like
Make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
I don't. How we relate to our character?
Yeah. Your many characters.
Yeah. I'm trying to pick one.
Do you eat Twinkies every day?
I love it. I love it. You didn't have a Twinkie last night, did you?
What's
that? Did you have a Twinkie last night?
Oh, I had a Twinkie.
I didn't see the Twinkie.
I ate the Twinkie.
You have
Okay.
to jealously watch
Yeah, I didn't see the
in front of my
Twinkie.
face.
No, they're actually, no, I have perhaps eaten 4 Twinkies in my entire life, and 2 of them have been during this rehearsal process. I don't have a lot in common with my characters. The opening number is just a big party, and there's a champagne glass in my hand, and I do like to enjoy the party and the drinky poos from time to time. So that's a commonality.
I like it.
I was going to say sorry, Mom, but not.
Really now.
Well, the one thing that I like about theater is that you get to put yourself into a character that you maybe never would have been in before. And not having kids, I would never have been a grandmother. And so it's kind of fun to pick and choose from the different people within my life to bring them into this character. And there's one scene with poor Robbie when the grandmother talks about stuff, and you could just see the feared Robbie. So it's just fun to put yourself into something that you would never, ever have done or will do. So it just kind of resonates that way.
Mhm.
Well,
You kind of slid into the one that I think
I don't know.
there it is.
I don't know. There's a lot, and I feel like I don't. At least a couple of them I shouldn't be relating to.
Like the bartender?
Yeah. David Fonda, probably too relating to him. You know, I don't know.
Ronald Reagan?
Ronald, Ronnie. I guess he's an actor. I'm an actor.
Ooh, that's true.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
You're gonna be president one day.
Maybe.
Do you like jelly beans? Like,
I love jelly beans.
see, there you go. There you go.
The parallels are uncanny.
You are.
You can't-
This is good stuff.
Part of it for me is kind of like Norma said. Like I like to think of what if my grandma would have said that to me. I would be mortified, but also like incredibly like, all right, you know, we're gonna deal with this, you know, kind of stuff. So I love that. Robbie's just, I mean, he tries so dang hard and
He does.
always comes up just. Not saying that my life is that way, but like it always comes up just like a little tiny bit short, right? So I mean, I think everyone can kind of resonate with that. Like you just want something, or you kind of get lost a little bit and try for something so hard that
Oh, yeah.
it's just right there, but you know, how do you get there? So
Right.
but still having like a pretty positive attitude about the whole thing, minus a little bit in the show and his character. He's never one of those that gets down or tries to stomp over people to get what he wants. So
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to play with that and realize, oh, I guess I am kind of more that way than
Right.
the cutthroat person that he wants to be.
Yeah, I always, when I'm up there, I can hear everything going on, and I'm like, poor Robbie. And I'm the one that's doing it to them, like my character, and I feel bad. So I play Linda, and I was like trying to think as you guys were talking, and I'm like, I can't think of how I relate to her because she's so mean, and I'm not a mean person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't really relate to her. So I really have to pull out that like meanness and aggressiveness out
Channel
of me.
your inner mean girl.
Yeah, like yeah, that inner mean girl, because I could never do that to someone. That would just be horrible. So, but I do enjoy playing mean people because it's so opposite of who I am. My husband would say otherwise, but there you go. But I do have to say something. My daughter was in the audience last night, and she told my husband, she's like, yeah, I saw a lot of faces that mom makes at home. And I thought about it last night, and I was like, it's because the beginning when I'm mean mugging Brianna. She's like, yeah, I've seen that face a lot at home. So I apologize. I need to change that.
But not for the show. Just for home.
but not for the show. I need to be a little bit more smiley at home. Okay, so how does the 80s setting influence your performance and the overall feel of the show? I know we kind of touched on that a little bit, but like, I don't know. I know I grew up in the 80s. I don't know who else grew up in the 80s.
In fact, did not.
Yeah.
I did not. Shocker.
Yeah. So the whole like the mention of the CD player, I thought that was hilarious because yeah, CD players came out in the 80s, and it was like the big thing. And now like, what is a CD player? Like, right? That's Stephanie's line. What's a CD player? Yeah, I found a tape the other day. I'm like, how do I play this? I don't know. So what part of the 80s like do you kind of remember? Or I mean, if you didn't grow up in the 80s, like what part of the 80s or 80s music or 80s fashion do you appreciate today? Jamie, you go first.
I will. I got the mic. We're gonna mix it up this
I
time.
got the mic.
Sucker around. Circle.
We're not playing.
No, I was joking about this the other day, and it's, I mean, every decade or every era has its issues, right? But I feel like of all the ones I've lived through so far, the 80s was like, I don't know, it felt like a little more, how are we talking about it? Like, it was always, not always fun, but it was just like Norma said, like the vibe was a little bit different.
was.
Like,
Easy breezy.
like the bad stuff was bad, but like it wasn't that bad.
Right.
So you kind of cruised on with it, and you know, you went out and listened to great music and hung out with your friends a lot more the way it feels. Like we weren't feeling this weird tunnel vision. It was all like just out in the open.
Right.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And it was fun. It was just an absolutely fun time. So seeing all this stuff kind of come back, and like these guys have already said, these bits and pieces where you're like, oh, been there, or oh, I've got that in my closet, I'll bring it in.
Yes.
Or thinking back to like looking at, I had to go back and look at some yearbooks, especially my sister grew up through this era a little bit more than I did. Like going back and looking through those yearbooks, like that's awesome.
That's
Yeah, I mean, more than like the school photos in the yearbook, like most of it was hair.
Yes.
Right, and like a little head in there. So
The
then I
hair
started to think about, oh, what about the photographer that was taking those pictures? How did they even get them in there? Like all the other issues that we don't think about now that these people had. So I mean, I don't have a specific one, but I love all that. I do have ways to play tapes though.
Yeah.
I lost
do
my
you?
8-track player though, so I don't get to play 8-tracks
Oh.
anymore. Oh yeah, I listen to cassettes all the time.
Oh, do you?
Actually, I have an MC Hammer in there right
You
now.
have
Oh yeah. Come on. And that's the question. That was I guess that was closer to the like early 90s though. But
Yes.
the question was if you're a Hammer fan or a Vanilla Ice fan. Like that was the can. That was the can. Early
So-
90s though. So I mean I know we're out of the era. a little
Yeah.
bit.
So for girls, it was which is your favorite New Kid on the Block?
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
That was
Here,
the-
we'll get started
damn
that way. We'll get started.
It
Oh, shoot. Oh,
was.
it just cost live.
So who was your favorite?
I don't remember.
Mine was Joey.
The only reason you asked is so you can say that.
Was there a Jordan?
Yes.
Was that?
He
my
had the
favorite?
he had the dark hair. He had the dark
Oh.
hair.
I don't.
Joey had the curly hair. He was a little short guy.
Nah.
I'm thinking for short guys.
That got really personal. I think so growing up in the 80s, I was and fabulous. You were already fabulous in the 80s. I remember thinking like simultaneously thinking that all the cool girls looked so cool and so amazing with the oh crap, I turned it. No, I didn't. With the claw.
Oh yes.
The claw bangs.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That was the
just
thing.
look at it's a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just,
yeah.
and so but
Brandon
I
Hayden
always thought they
right
looked
now.
so cool, but also like kind of ridiculous, and I wasn't committed enough to give it a go. And then I also just had a home perm for much longer in my life than I ought to have. So I think it's been fun just kind of experimenting with the hair and seeing and like kind of doing like a faux claw bang just to kind of, I don't know, just, rock out.
Yeah.
But that's been fun is figuring out the hair and how I can be an 80s cool chick
Heck yeah.
a few years later.
Right. Yeah. A few
A
years
few,
later.
a few.
Just a few.
Give it to Mama.
Oh, great. It's coming.
So I keep handing it to you. Sorry.
I was already an adult in the 80s, so I didn't get to do quite the fun stuff that these kids did, but they talk about the bridge and tunnel people coming over from, Jersey going to Manhattan. But I think the thing that I remember most about the 80s is the hair.
Oh yeah.
And Aquanet hairspray had to have had a huge uptake on their sales. But the other thing is that the dance clubs. I mean, everybody went to dance clubs, and I don't even think there are dance clubs anymore.
Not really.
But that's where you went, and that's where you hung out, and you met all the cool kids. And even at my advanced stage in the 80s, I did happen on a few dance clubs, and you go in there and you go, wow, this is cool. And you go, oh no, I can't be here. And so, but the dancing and the hair, those are probably the biggest 80s things.
Yes.
What was the question?
What about the 80s? Did you like?
Yeah.
I was not
You
supposed.
were not-
Nor a glimmer in anyone's eye.
No. What about you?
No.
Okay, here's what's up. I do know some things about the 80s,
How?
but it's only from
Status.
movies.
What did you glean
Yes.
that you think the 80s is was about? Like, what
See-
do you think it felt like?
I don't know. It seems like it was just a wild time. It was pretty crazy. I mean, the only thing I think about when I think of the 80s is honestly like Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Because like, just like all the movies in the 80s, like there's some classic movies,
First coming out.
crazy stuff.
Flight of the Navigator.
So that's what I think of.
Yeah. So,
The
so
movie,
I was
Jen?
telling this story I can't remember who I was telling that. It's all a blur, but in the dressing room, when I was a child for pictures for a yearbook, I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, can you crimp my hair? And I had long, like very long, wild hair. It took him like 2 hours to crimp it, but he did it and he crimped it and it was like huge. So yeah, it filled the whole box. But yeah, for the show, I had to go buy a crimper because you can't find those in stores. So I had to go on Amazon, and that's why my hair's crazy now. I crimped it. But yeah, the crimped hair, big crimped hair for me.
Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know.
understand why.
I don't know. But nobody, like, everybody's like, why do you have your hair like that? Because obviously I wear it like this for a few days because I don't want to wash it and recrimp it. And I'm like, why is your hair like that? It looks weird.
Tell people you stuck your finger in a light socket.
It's like, for a show, okay? I'm an actress. Okay, so what is your favorite either number in the show or scene or song? I know that's hard. There's a lot of good ones. Top. Hayden, you're ready to answer.
All right. My favorite song is Single.
I do like that
yeah.
one a lot.
I put
It's so good.
everything into that every night.
I can
You guys
tell.
look great.
That's my favorite one by far.
Yes,
It's just boys being boys.
it is.
I like it
I
a
love
lot.
it too.
But cleanly, more or less cleanly.
Well,
In a
I mean,
nicer way.
That can mean
Kinda.
multiple things.
Yeah,
So
you guys are rocking that one.
we keep it PG-13.
Maybe 15 or 17.
So Linda, yeah. So Linda shows up.
Well, yeah, that's right. I haven't actually seen that number.
You're missing out. I'm just kidding.
I know I am. It's a hole in my life.
Well, I think all of Robbie and Julia's scenes are a lot of fun,
Yeah.
because it's always about hope with the two of them.
Yeah.
But I think another one of my favorite scenes is between Holly and Sammy, when I'm with stupid and he realizes that he's stupid, and they get together. That's Jenica and Ben. And it's such a wonderful moment in the show because she realizes that he's the one. He always has been the one, and he will be the one. And he pursues her, gets pushed away all the time. But it's so fun when they finally do come together in that one scene.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a good one.
I seem to turn it off.
do you have something to say?
I keep on I keep passing it to Peter.
I also love Single. I don't come out and watch it, but I just hear it. It sounds so fun. Yeah. But also one of my favorite parts to be on stage for is Come Out of the Dumpster.
That's a funny song. I was telling Brianna the other night, I was like, I never realized you say, so you, what do you say? Something like,
Yeah, when he falls back in.
Yeah.
So you're back. in the
yes, so
dumpster.
you're back at the dumpster. And I was like, oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
'Cause it's so sweet.
Yeah, it's such a sweet song, but then there's a lot of humor in it too. And it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a show where we have a dumpster on stage.
No,
So
that's true. That's true.
That's
And
just
Mr. Jamie is really good at like fight choreography
fall.
and stunt choreography.
I fall well.
Yeah, you do. You sure do. You fall a lot in this show.
That's all I do. Like I can't do
Yeah.
anything else but like, hey, Jamie, fall down and make somebody laugh.
You really
Yes,
can.
that's
Hey, there's
your
a
only
couch,
skill.
fall behind the couch. Okay.
Oh, they'll do it.
Try to take out all the chairs and tables on your way through. So my stuff in the show, like it's always fun to play these characters, and maybe Brianna will say something different, but I like saying, I joked with these guys the other night, and it's a partial joke that I hate waiting for last for other people.
Oh, yes.
And Hayden gets a big one, and Dustin gets a big one, and there's just a bunch, and I love those. I do love those. I say I hate them, but
Yeah,
I love those.
yeah.
Where it's just like somebody walks on, and it's an immediate reaction from the audience.
Yes.
Oh, God. Here we go. I'd say Single, but I have to watch most of it from behind, so I don't like that number.
No.
You guys are great. So much
I
fun to
don't
watch. It
like
is an
that
absolute
number.
blast to watch from where I am.
You're just
It's great. No, it's great. I do like that one a lot because I get to watch you guys in a weird way, but I also get to I get to peek at the audience while I'm watching you and watch them watch you, and that's some of my favorite stuff. You don't get to do it much as a performer, but when I can peek out there and see how they're reacting to you guys and
Yes.
to anybody that I get a chance to do that with, that's what I like to do. I don't
Yeah.
care about what I'm doing on stage.
Yeah,
It's fun to watch that.
it is fun.
It's still on.
Oh, thank you.
At the moment, my favorite is there's a obviously I'm not part of it, but there's a duet between Robbie and Julia that is just a beautiful, beautiful song, and it's one of those duets where they're not in the same scene together.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so that always excuse me,
Gives you all the feels.
it chokes me up. No, I think there's a level of skill and artistry that probably has to go in that, because you're not looking at each other and cueing off of each other like in the same space on the stage, and you guys just do it so well, and I love listening to it every night. And the only reason I'm not in the wings watching you is because I'm up doing a massive costume change.
Jeffrey said the audio's low. Is it low still, Jeffrey?
Oh, I somehow turned the mic off in the middle.
Oh, okay, great.
So,
Okay, all right. Sorry. Thanks, Jeffrey.
And it's still turned off. Hey, yo.
Oh, there we go. Has everybody gone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead. You. Oh,
Single.
Dumpster.
Dumpster.
What was the question again?
Favorite.
You're not asking them.
I know.
The cheat sheet.
My brain is done today. Casualty of Love is probably one of my favorite ones. Because I love watching Jamie, like how into it he gets. Like he just like you can just feel it coming off of him. And I just laugh every night in my head because I can't laugh on stage. But and then I incorporated the Thriller moves from Michael Jackson, which is so much fun. So that's probably my favorite, actually. I mean, I love them all, but that one, I don't know. For right now, it's my favorite. Okay, so I see.
Yeah.
So one of the other things too that people don't know, like when you're putting a show together, there is a lot of collaboration with the actors. Like I know Jamie and I on our scene, it's been amazing. Like one of your things that you said about the shirt, I'm like, oh my God, that works so much more better. And so I've been doing that. So like giving each other like feedback and ideas. That's one of the things I love about theater is it's not just like by the book. You're like, hey, what about we try this? How about we try that? Maybe that's not working. So what's like one of your favorite things working with another cast member, or a challenge maybe? I just kind of threw that at you guys.
Yeah.
That was not on the list.
This will be the last question, I swear, of our pop quiz.
I was not prepared for this. I want my agent to file a complaint. I have fun when figuring out how to get to naturally like in a scene, like you're here either like verbally or physically, and you need to get here verbally or physically, and how do you bridge that without being like, I am an actor and I am going to go over here and bridge that bit physically or emotionally. And so and I think kind of filling in part of the fun about being an ensemble is that the action, I'm not in the middle of the action, but I get to like kind of add to it. So there's a moment where somebody doesn't show up for their own wedding and leaves somebody at the altar. I'm trying really hard not to give any more spoilers away. And I was driving home from rehearsal one night, and I thought, oh, what if I and the person watching the wedding or attending the wedding had a bet and I lost it, and so she nudges me, and I have to give her some money because she knew that she wasn't going to show up. And that's fun.
I like that.
That's been a fun moment that I don't even know if anybody else notices, but Lori and I, so Lori, love you. Lori and I have fun with that every night.
Well, that puts depth into your character, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and then also it's like, okay, this is not completely like maybe Robbie was maybe the groom was the only one who didn't see this coming and doesn't realize that she's not an absolute goddess.
Right. Well, she is a goddess. I'm just kidding. She really thinks she is.
It's on now. Well, let's see. So collaboration, me and my buddy Ben have a nice little moment.
Oh yeah.
It was nice last night when people they went a little crazier than I thought.
Great, like
I love it.
it was
It was
loud
a little-
in the speaker in the
It
dress.
was kind of scary, actually.
I wasn't
I
expecting
wasn't
that.
expecting that, but it's one of those things where It's just like a little moment,
Yep.
and we didn't get to do it together for like,
Yeah.
I think we only did it like a week in advance.
Right.
That was like the first time we got to, and it's one of those things. Pretty
It's a
cool.
great moment.
You'll see it if you come to the show.
Yeah.
That's the only way you'll know what it is.
Yeah, you got to come to the show to see what we're talking about.
And you'll know.
Or second.
Go ahead, second.
Okay.
You haven't given it to Brandon,
Oh.
have you?
True. She always gives it to me.
Right.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna post these comments.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye, Billy. See you later.
Oh, my leg has been exposed.
How does it feel?
Yeah, one of the things that I really love just about theater in general is that like you can feel the energy on stage.
Mhm.
And even in rehearsals, like some nights if you're acting like with your scene partner and you get off stage together and you just kind of feel like, oh, that felt weird, right? And you can talk to them about it and they're like, yeah, no, I felt that too. And then you can like figure it out together and then maybe the next night is different.
Yeah.
Or it's the same, but you get to collaborate.
Mhm. Play around with it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and just that communication, like it's all, like Ashley was saying, like cues from the other person, and you might have these revelations later and come back and tell them
Yeah.
what you think might help out or be better or be fun to
Right.
do. Just yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Who else?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Okay. I'll whisper into the microphone. This is Brian. No, all the same kind of stuff, right? When I talk about acting, when I here's a professor moment. When I talk about acting at the college, yes, I forgot I like to think about instead of give and take, I think about give and give, because take to me has like a negative connotation, and I don't want to take something and not give something back. So I love those moments, and everybody does it, which is great. Where like they give you something, and I'm like, oh, I can give this back, and so then it becomes like a little like ping pong match or tennis match, right?
Yeah.
Like, here, take this, no, take this, or give this, give this, give this.
Right.
And it's always fun, like Brianna said, like it might change a little bit one night. We're doing the same show, right? But
Yep.
something might come out a little different, or say someone puts a foot through a prop, or anything like that. And it changes things. You still live in the moment, and it's fun, but that give turns into something
Yeah.
different, and it's just fun for that energy to happen.
It is. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the definition of collaboration, right? So that really
Absolutely.
pass along any great knowledge, but that's just there's those moments where people don't necessarily take things from you, but they stay in there and keep bouncing it back at you. It's really fun.
Yeah,
It's
it
great.
is.
It's great when that stuff starts to happen.
That's the magic of theater, folks.
Yeah, it's off. It's totally off. Nobody heard it.
We have all these.
No,
there.
it was on.
No nuggets. Come through the show and attend Rocky Mountain Golf.
We have all these creative minds in one room, and yeah, it's gonna make amazing stuff. Go ahead.
Well, because it's live theater, every night is a different night. And even though it's the same show, different things happen. And in my case in particular, sometimes I sing different lyrics and move differently. So anybody that's on stage with me always has to like, where's she going? What is she gonna, is she gonna say something different tonight?
Keeping them on their toes.
Exactly. So it's a lot of fun, just the whole collaboration thing, as everybody else has said, because you never know what's going to come out of your mouth. You never know which way you're going to move, and people that are on stage with you kind of are the same way. So you kind of have to move not as a unit, but individually as a unit, and go with whatever happens.
Exactly. Like mics could go out like mine did last night. My veil came off. My wig started falling. I mean, things happen, and you just got to keep going, right? Nobody's gonna notice. Well, some people will, like my kids. Brianna, did you go? Okay.
Yes.
Did everybody go?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I know that people got to get and do some stuff today. So come see the show. Go to BillingsStudioTheatre.com or call the box office. Get your tickets. We go until June 15th. We open tonight. So if you can make opening night, hopefully there's still some seats left. Come see the show. It's
There's
so
a
much
couple
fun.
left.
Not many.
So much fun. And if you do come tonight, there's an afterglow which you can meet the cast and eat some food.
And drink some drinky
And
booze.
drink some drinky booze like Ashley likes to do. So yes,
Eat the food. I just eat the food, I promise.
As long as it's all.
yes.
Are there going to be Twinkies?
Maybe there will be Twinkies.
You could
That would be a
totally
lot
make
of
it happen.
Twinkies.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I know it was a late night last night, so coming this morning, I really appreciate it. And we'll hopefully see you at the theater.
Yay.
See you guys. All right, we're gonna end this stream and we're gonna bye Instagram.
I hold it until the end.
It's gonna be a sitcom.
Hey, let's go.
We're good.
High five.